power of self-concept. It has been proven now that an individual, a human being's success is directly proportional to the self-concept that he holds and harbors. It has been found that we human beings have got infinite potential, but very small percentage is actually utilized in actual life, mainly because of the self-created barriers. And the biggest barrier that you create about yourself is to bring in the concept of self-doubt, self-pity in yourself. And these two can be removed provided you have the faith and belief in yourself as a human being and your potential. To accentuate this, you need to consciously practice self-love and self-approval. Friends, many times it so happens that we are undermining our potential, and we consciously keep on noticing and validating and celebrating so-called the failures of our life instead of focusing, validating and celebrating the improvements and successes in life. So I for one believe that if you can use these particular affirmations consciously every day and put it into practice, it can lead to your self-concept going to the next level. The affirmation is, I consciously notice, validate and celebrate every small improvements and successes in my life in order to fully self-actualize my total potential. Friends, many times we wait for outside people to acknowledge us and validate us, which many times proves out to be illusionary. It is much more easier for oneself to validate oneself, and that is much more easier. And it's also a fact that if you don't love yourself, then who's going to love you? And if you don't have love within yourself, it's not possible for you to give love to others. So this concept of self, which is very, very important for each one of us to nurture, to develop, to own up, to keep on accentuating by this conscious process of affirmation, by conscious process of noticing, validating and celebrating your small improvements and success in all areas of life. And don't wait for some external forces, some external person to do that. Because I promise you, the world is such that it may not really help in accentuating your or acknowledging your successes. It normally tends to depreciate you and find faults with people. That's the way the world has been conditioned. So my strong suggestion is, have a self-concept which is healthy, have a self-concept which is progressive, and truly acknowledge your full potential, and by consciously ensuring that you are noticing, validating and celebrating the successes, and feel the welling up of your confidence and your self-belief and self-faith in yourself to achieve anything in life. Especially in this sales field, keeping your self-concept very high is very important to eliminate those two fears, the fear of rejection and fear of failure, away from becoming a barrier for your effectiveness as a sales commando. So ensure that your self-concept is always high by the process of self-love, self-approval, and by using the appropriate affirmation to keep on bolstering it and keeping it at a high level.